insofar as monsoons is concerned, we'll be in a position to understand the advanced forecasting much better. But this slide is on understanding the national agricultural markets, because today it is now possible for us to capture at real time. And as Dr. Pannu was mentioning earlier, we're in a position now to understand where exactly what kind of crops are happening, and therefore it is possible for us to. In fact, what has happened is that there is an all India price setting that is now happening, because and this is how everything is located, is co-located. For example, through Gati Shakti, it will now be possible for us to move grains from location A to location B, and with advanced transport techniques, this gap will also be addressed. But what is going to happen is that because of digital agriculture, we should be able to not only give crop advisories, we should also be able to advise the banks, in addition to banks, the SHG groups, and everybody who's connected with us, to understand how to provide not just financial assistance, but also how to bring in the value additions, and that we'll be able to do through blockchain traceability, because that's one of the requirements of organic farming, one of the requirements of exports. So all this will be of great help to us. Now, this also, as I mentioned earlier, one is addressing the risks of market, and the second is addressing the risks of monsoon. Now, the risks of monsoon are of two types. One is, can we change the weather pattern? That is one aspect. That is a bit difficult at this point of time, though I think within 10, 20, 30 years, we may even be able to manage rainfall. We could go in for cloud seeding, but we'll have to also examine the pros and cons of moving into that direction. But at least today we are in a position to understand and anticipate what the weather is likely to be over the next 10, 15, 20 days. Now, even when you know what the weather is likely to be, what is likely to be the temperature, what's the likely rainfall, what's the likely frost condition, not only can advanced steps be taken, but it also helps us to understand that how do we assess the crop damage and crop losses. Because one of the big problems that we faced, and I have been in the agriculture department, both at the union government level and as the secretary to agriculture departments in the governments of Uttarakhand and West Bengal, one of the biggest challenges that we always have is that what do you do when when weather aberrations take place? How do you assess that? So earlier what was happening was that when we had to give compensation, we would base it on the basis of our field inspection, or wherever the local political leadership was more powerful. So somebody got more compensation, somebody got less compensation. Thanks to the space technology, thanks to AI, we have been able to evolve the Fasal Bima Yojana on a very transparent manner. And as we improve our techniques of understanding the weather patterns and weather aberrations, our systems will become more transparent. And in fact, a transparent system helps everybody. It helps because it improves the flow of information. In fact, this will also help us in the area of integrating solar pumps with various schemes that we have in the government. Next. Yeah. So, friends, one of the points which was made by Mr. Lalit Agarwal, by Mr. General Pannu, and also by Anil Prakashji was, that how do we all get together? The issues of agriculture, farm tech, or whether it is pharma, whether it is skilling or whatever, we got to look beyond the silos. In fact, the space itself, when you look at anything from the space, you realize that, what are we fighting about? I mean, from the space, the planet looks like one. And when you look at the space, then all this diversity, all these things that we have, sometimes you wonder, what is it that you're fighting about? I mean, what is our planet? I mean, our planet is just a speck at one level. But it also teaches us the power of collaboration. So not only does today we have seen the coming together of MERI and FEED and SIA, but we also need to talk to ISRO. In fact, we are talking to them. The government is talking to ISRO, to remote sensing. So with the use of optical and radar satellites, with the GIS systems, with GNSS and NAVIC, it is now possible for us to understand what is happening at various sub-regions of the country. And therefore, we are, in fact, this conference could also propose, could also suggest that we need a national farm tech consortium, a unified platform, perhaps under the NITI, perhaps under the private sector, perhaps as a consortia of everything. In fact, we need to talk to Mr. Ramesh Chand, who's the member of the NITI Aayog and a very distinguished agricultural scientist himself. Next time, in fact, once the conference proceedings are ready, we can go and present these to Mr. Ramesh Chand and also to Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan and also to Dr. Jitendra Singh, the Minister for Science and Technology, because all of us must work together, all of us must think together. And I think this is a very important beginning. This beginning is so important because it tells us on what are the next steps that we need to take in this direction. One more slide, I think, and then we'll close it. Thank you. Okay, so I think what I've already explained, what I had to say, that once we have the crop yield forecasting, once we understand the water resource management, and once we can integrate it, and in fact I keep talking to many people how in the last 10 years how we've been able, through the use of AI in space, been able to link the Kisan credit card with the soil health card, with the available moisture in the which is available, the amount of irrigation sources that are available. And now, with the use of space technology, we'll be able to do some more forecasting, some more cloud seeding. And I think together, if we can have real-time understanding of what the weather patterns are, what the cropping patterns are, what the water resources are, what micro irrigation techniques are, and the coming together of everything looked at from the point of view of the Antariksh, I think we are all set for a very good beginning. So let me, at this point, let me also mention that feed is focused on the prosperity of the marginal farmer, and feed looks to collaborating with organizations which are linked to the markets, and now with the Association of Mary, this is linking to the market, linking to academia. With the SIA, we also link to industry. So it's a very good beginning. I'd like to thank General Pannu and Professor Lalit Agarwal and Mr. Anil Prakash for having invited FEED to join this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We now move on to a very important segment of today's conference, the farmer session. It is my pleasure to invite Shri Kiran Gange sir to present his views.
I interject before Kiran starts. किसी को डॉक्टर संजीव चोपड़ा से कोई सवाल पूछने हैं या कोई क्योंकि वो शायद हमारे साथ ज़्यादा देर नहीं रहेंगे, तो एक अपॉर्चुनिटी अगर 5 मिनट इंटरेक्शन के लिए दे दे. किरण, आई होप दैट इज ओके. डॉक्टर संजीव चोपड़ा, if you can just stay for some time in case anybody wants to interact with you. Thank you.
Hello.
Anji, yes.
Hello.
Anji, सुन रहा है मुझे आनंद?
Hello sir. Good morning sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
सर सबसे पहले थैंक यू, आपने मुझे इनवाइट किया. मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है सर से, कैन वी आइडेंटिफाई फार्म using satellite data where farmer used chemicals during the farm operation through the crop growth cycle? Why it is important? Because when we are doing the market linkage after pre and post, it is very important where we have to sell it and who is going to consume chemical or without chemical.